Max Starks is joining us for one more segment as we look ahead to this weekend's matchup between the Cardinals and their beat-up offense and defense against the 49ers and their beat-up offense and defense. Max, Wolf and I were talking about this earlier. San Francisco is maybe the only other team that can say they're as injured as the Cardinals right now, but the difference is San Francisco is 6-4 and very much in the middle of a playoff race. I look at this, and I understand the Cardinals, the playoff chances, if they are still there, are very slim. I'm not really looking at it from that concept. I'm looking at it more, you've got two more division games after this, and they're both against the Rams, who, good luck in those games. And you've still got 8 games overall. I mean, if you don't start winning some, you're going to be stacking losses, and this could potentially get really ugly. And people could end up on the hot seat. Like, you know how football is when you're 3-6 at this point in the year. Where is your importance level on just going out there and getting a win right now to stop some of the bleeding?
It's at an all-time high because, you've had so many close calls. I mean, we talked about it earlier where we were talking about 4 losses, a combined total of 13 points. Earlier this season, and now it's just the gap has just kind of gotten wider. And, Seattle game obviously did not help that. Mm-hmm. But, where are you going to be as an organization? And, I could say a couple of different ways. If there is some type of transition that is made at a certain position that normally would be a franchise position for any organization, if you were making that type of, it would help in the acquisition of said position. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of pride, and I'm not going to go down that road today. I think you have to compete, and when you have division games, especially, you never know what can happen. Mm-hmm. I mean, a prime example, of what the Cardinals could do is look at what happened down in Miami a week ago. Buffalo, yep. Miami, everybody, heavy favorites, all Buffalo. Man, this is going to be it for Mike McDaniels. They boat raced the Buffalo Bills. And I use boat race because Miami and their boat racing
You've been
culture.
waiting on that for a while.
You know what yeah, exactly. I've been waiting for that. But this is why can't the Cardinals do the same thing? Cardinals, I feel, are in a very similar position, and they didn't go fire sailing at the trade deadline either. And you have personnel that can get the job done. We know what it looks like when this offense clicks. We know what it looks like when the defense clicks. It's just about coming together, looking man-to-man, and saying, hey, we will not be denied. You want to bring in a little twisted system? We're not going to take it, right? I mean, that's just how you have to – that's the mindset you almost have to have, and that's the mantra. And it can be done because we've seen it in this league this year. We've seen where the teams that are, quote-unquote, the avowed go against the disavowed, and good things happen. I mean, it happened on more than one occasion to the Bills, who everybody would argue every year, reigning NFL MVP, Josh Allen. Who is going to stop them? They got beat up by the Atlanta Falcons, and the Atlanta Falcons can't find a game either.
The only problem with this, Max, and I don't disagree with your theory, the only problem is I used this theory last Friday going into the Seattle game of crazier things have happened, and it didn't go very well. But also, Wolf, Max just said either, and he's from the East Coast.
That's right.
So does this prove your point?
Yes, of course it does.
Right. This is a setup
right now. Speaking of turnovers, how about this right now? The San Francisco 49ers are 6-4 on the season, and they're -8 in the turnover column. -8, Max, there's only one other team that is worse than that in the National Football League. How is that possible?
I mean, that just means you are scoring every other opportunity that you're not turning it over. I mean,
I've never seen that, man. -8.
That's a wild stat. That is a super wild stat.
You're leaving out who the only team that's worse is. It's the Jets.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're -10, correct?
Yes, but the Jets are also not good. San Francisco's 6-4.
It's unbelievable to me.
But the Jets can win a game.
Can I just I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something that I rarely say, especially in the NFL level. To be 6-4 when you're -8, it speaks to coaching. to me. It does. Somehow, some way that you have kept this team together when you're -8. You have given the ball away 15 times, 10 picks and 5 fumbles. You've given the ball away 15 times. And your defense has only taken the ball away, I say only, 7 times. But still, you stop and think about that. Man, to keep with all the injuries the 49ers have had, and then to hear those numbers, and there is not a metric, there is not a stat you can look at that could predict your win-loss total better than turnover margin as far as I'm concerned.
No, there isn't. And like you said, by traditional sense, if you're in the negative category and you're as high as 8, normally your record's inversed or even worse. And the fact that, like you said, San Francisco coming in with a -8, 6-4,
unheard
was
of.
Pretty remarkable. It's remarkable to say the least. But that means there's also opportunities there. That means that they do give the ball away. So if you're the Arizona Cardinals, you're licking your chops and saying, we now have to take advantage of that. And it comes back to the first thing I said at the beginning of the show when we were talking about it, Wolf. If you can possess the football and establish a run game and try and control the time of possession, you couple that with turnovers, and that's your best way or best avenue to victory if you're the Arizona Cardinals.
Yep.
And I think that's what you kind of have to focus in on this week is reestablishing the run with this offensive line and making it as simple as possible. And, guys going to have to grow up. It's put up or shut up time for the offensive line as well. And this would be a great statement game to get back in the hunt and, like you said, get back in that positive category and erase the losing streak and get back into the win column.
Max, just because you kind of alluded to this earlier, and I know you cover and watch a lot of college football, I know this is 8 steps down the line, but there seems to be this growing sense, even more so than it was a week ago when we talked to you, that the Cardinals are going to part ways with Kyler Murray at the end of the year. If they do that, is there a college quarterback that you've seen this season where you're like, man, that'd be great? Because it just doesn't seem like there's any sort of consensus, and that might be a good thing. If the Cardinals are picking like 14th, they might be able to get the guy they want there if they go down that path.
Yeah, I mean, there's no clear-cut guy right now. I mean, let's just be honest. This season has been kind of up and down as well. I mean, you can look at Mendoza in Indiana. I mean, Drew Aller's injured for Penn State. Cade Klubnik, well, the Clemson Tigers look like they got declawed. And so, then they're saying, obviously, Arch Manning needs to just go ahead and just commit to staying for another year. It's just, whether it's with Texas, whether he goes elsewhere, I don't know. But, he doesn't look like a finished product. Sayan as well might be your best pure passer. But, and then Ty Simpson, I mean, there's good quarterbacks. There's no great quarterbacks. I think, this year especially, it's going to be beauty is in the eye of the beholder because none of these quarterbacks that come out will be unblemished.
Yeah.
And none of them are going to be super skilled. I mean, you could probably see a year like last year where you're stretching to find a guy that you really like and trying to adjust for it. And I would even argue that's probably the talent's a little bit less than the guys that came out a year ago. So it's one of those things, and this is the crapshoot of it all. You can plan for next year's draft, but until you know who's actually coming out and who's staying, it's tough to really make those decisions. And we'll see how things come down from the NCAA. There's a rule coming out that potentially, you could say that it's going to be a 5 years total college career for guys. JUCO and Division I included, where you could play just 5 years flat, no medical waivers, no nothing, because right now you have the JUCO rule, which says that JUCO doesn't count, and then you can go into your 4 years, and then all of these different medical waivers. So now they're trying to streamline and make it just 5 set years for college. So there's going to be some shifts in the legislation. So it's going to be very interesting to see how they deal with that.
Max, always great to talk to you, buddy.
Thank you so
much.
My pleasure, guys. Y'all take care.
All right,
Hey,
you too.
man.
That's Max Starks joining us right there on the Arizona Sports Line. Just really quick on Fernando Mendoza, Wolf, and this kind of speaks to this quarterback class. A year ago, not a lot of people were talking about him. He was at Cal, 16 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Yeah.
The year before, 14 and 10. And all of a sudden this year, he's the Heisman favorite. So I'm wary of a lot of these quarterbacks, but I will say this because I know this is important to Cardinals fans. He is 6'5", if you wanted to go down that
Is there
path.
a Jackson Dart out there? Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.